Storm got caught in a war between ancient gods, and now she stands before none other than Thor, the Asgardian god of thunder. The Queen of the Elements reveals that ever since she was a child, she heard a voice whispering in her mind, an ancient, almost maternal presence that guided her with calm words. When the storm gods dared to attack the force that had always been with her, Storm made a promise. She would use everything she had, every bolt of lightning, every gust of wind, to restore its greatness, and she did it. In Rio de Janeiro, the sky has never been so clear. With the help of a climate cannon built by Tony Stark and T'Challa, the climate crisis seems under control. Iron Man, as usual, uses the moment to tease T'Challa, asking if he doesn't want to go see Ororo. But the king of Wakanda just laughs and dodges the question, saying he has evening plans with a certain blonde telepath from the X-Men, Tony's own ex-wife, Emma Frost. Reed Richards, happily married as ever, doesn't miss the chance to laugh at the banter between the two friends. Speaking of friends, we return to Storm and Thor, who aren't actually at war. In reality, it's with Thor's help that Storm is able to recover what's left of the pilot who died in the last issue. But sadly, only ashes remain. Before they leave, Thor shares a dark revelation about the presence of the ancient gods. Even before Zeus, Odin, or any other sky god, there was Hadad the First, a being so powerful he controlled even the primordial forces. Hadad wore eternity as a cloak, wielded death as a weapon, and used the phoenix as armor. That made him invincible until the supreme being, the one above all, stopped him. But an ancient prophecy foretold Hadad's return. And the sign of his return is a horde of rotten storms that have already begun to appear. So much so that in the depths of space, the Silver Surfer warns Galactus not to consume this rotten blizzard, because it is pure poison. Meanwhile, on Earth, Thor hands Storm a magical feather. He tells her that if the gods return, she can summon him with this artifact. But Ororo firmly refuses. She says that next time, it's the gods who will need to beg for help. Then we jump to 3 days later. After the war, peace reigns at Storm's sanctuary, but unfortunately, not for long. A call from the U.S. government forces her to appear at the FBI headquarters. Eden Phasey, the teleporter known as Manifold, takes Ororo there and promises that if anything goes wrong, he'll come back with an army to start a new Krakoa era. Ororo laughs, thinking he's overreacting. But the truth is, she has no idea what's coming. She's greeted by two very odd agents who look like they came straight out of a Men in Black movie. And before leaving, Ororo asks Manifold to take care of the sanctuary, especially Maggot. She knew that in her absence, Maggot would stir up trouble. And she was right, because the mutant took the opportunity to build a UFC-style arena in her sanctuary for superpowered beings. Yes, when Manifold returns, he finds chaos. The Blue Mutant has created a bizarre spectacle with gladiators like She-Hulk, Juggernaut, Big Bertha, Armor, and even the Abomination. A true circus of power and mayhem. But let's get back to Storm. She's in a cramped room where her fear of tight spaces is being used against her. Special Agent Fabii starts the interrogation, while another agent, Lundqvist, well known to Scott Summers, watches silently. The tension rises when Fabii questions whether Storm's sanctuary has an environmental license. She firmly replies that it was built with technology from Stark, Shuri, and Lunella Lafayette, and approved by S.H.I.E.L.D. But things get even more tense when the agent insinuates that she's a fugitive. He confronts her about her past as a thief in Egypt. And Ororo fearlessly replies that the U.S. government has no jurisdiction over her childhood in Cairo. Then comes the question that reveals the agent's true concern. Has she been kidnapped or mentally manipulated in recent weeks? The government believes she was under psychic influence, and that her memories were telepathically altered. Storm calmly replies that she is immune to telepathy, just like Gambit and Jubilee, because of the energy flowing through their bodies. But Fabiyi presses on. He wants tests to prove it. He says the telepathic simulation machine is in the next room, and the test should take just 5 minutes. But at that moment, Storm freezes and says none of this is real. The moment she touched his hand, Aurora instantly realized it was all a setup. Far more powerful beings have tried to invade her mind before and failed miserably. And since there's no point keeping up the charade, the alien finally reveals his claws, attacking Storm with some kind of telekinesis. He and the other agents move in, and that's when the truth comes out. The real reason for this interrogation is that Storm helped Charles Xavier leave Earth. Now she's being accused of obstruction of justice, and the aliens have come to arrest her. And so another issue comes to an end. And if even the one above all is paying attention, then you already know. What's coming is way bigger than any battle the X-Men or the Avengers have ever faced. Now tell me, do you think Storm will be able to resist? Or will the ancient gods win? If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because there's a lot of insane stuff coming your way. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next adventure.